Good morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. I did it again. Yeah. I started getting ready to be with you and I got sidetracked, and that happens. And so I'm a couple minutes late. But good morning. Here I am. Yeah. Good morning. Did you have a good 4th of July? I'm not going to lie. I didn't see any fireworks, but I had a wonderful 4th of July. So what was my day like? Well, let's see. It started out with you. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, it started out in the chicken coop. I don't know how many of you were there, but whew, that was an experience, I tell you. Yeah, getting it all together to have a morning in the chicken coop. And I tried Facebook Live in the morning with the chickens, and that was easy to do. But then I found out that there's no way for you to like look on the internet and find that particular day. Yeah, so I don't know that it's the way I want to do it, because the whole idea is to like grow our community, and with Facebook Live it just keeps it in our community, which is good. So I can do both. But good morning, Indy. We had quite a day yesterday. So I started out, good morning. Good morning, Opa. Good morning, good morning. So I started my day with you, and then I went to tennis. And everybody was in a really good mood. I was all dressed in red, white, and blue because it was America's birthday. And we started to play tennis, and we played for about 5 minutes, and the clouds opened up and it started to rain. But we looked at each other and said, hey, we're in Southern California. We're in the desert. The courts are going to be dry in 5 minutes after it stops raining, and it never rains for very long. Let's just sit under the awning and wait. So we sat under the awning and laughed and told jokes, and I learned something very new that I'm going to share with you. We had a great time, but the rain wasn't letting up, so we decided we'd go for coffee and come back in a half an hour. And then I remembered they have coffee up at the clubhouse. We'll have coffee right here, go sit in the lounge, because now I guess people are feeling safe enough, so the furniture is back in the clubhouse and we could actually sit in there, which was first time we've done that in well over a year. So that's what we did. We sat up there, waited for the rain to stop, had a great giggle and laugh fest sitting up in the clubhouse, and the rain stopped. So we went back out, and there were still puddles on the courts. They hadn't dried. So we all went home a little early. Yeah. And then that's when the fun day started. I mean, what do you want to do besides like march in a band on 4th of July? We went to have apple pie because that's so American. So there's this place about an hour from here called Oak Glen, and it's one of those really cute little, I don't know, it's this little town, and it's filled with apple orchards and, like touristy stuff. So we decided, since Indy had never been there and I hadn't been there in probably literally 40 or 50 years, that we would go up to Oak Glen. It's up in the mountains. So we drove up there, and first of all, can I just say it was so beautiful. Yeah, it's like ridiculous. And instead of it being like 120 degrees like down here, good morning, Jenny, up in Oak Glen, it was like in the low 80s. It was glorious. So we were going to have lunch up there, and then we saw this place that had apple pie and apple fritters and apple cake and apple this and apple that. So we went in to check it out, and they had this absolutely fabulous looking apple pie, and you could get a piece of apple pie a la mode. And we said, hey, we're grown-ups. We don't have to eat lunch first. Let's have dessert first. I couldn't decide between an apple turnover, a fresh apple turnover, and apple pie. And the girl behind the counter said, well, the apple pie and ice cream is pretty big. You could share it. Okay, we decided we would do that. And then she brings out like a whole dinner plate, like big. I'm going to say it was probably close to close to a half a pie, I don't know, and probably a whole pint of ice cream on top of it. And it was Thrifty's ice cream. Best ice cream ever. Mm. So for lunch, we had apple pie and ice cream. It was so good. We walked around the town and we had a good time. We went driving through the hills a little bit. Indy had packed little chairs and our books and our reading glasses so we could go sit under a tree somewhere and just sit and read for an hour. But not us. As we were driving along, we came to this place that said Nature Conservatory, that word. It was a botanic garden in the middle of the mountains. So we decided to check it out. And there were these, trails to follow. So we started following trails. We thought we'd be walking for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, go see some beautiful scenery and then come back. They'd had a black bear sighting the day before. Rattlesnakes, mountain lions, all within the month, right? So we didn't know what to expect, but we just kind of wanted to go on a little walk. We did not get eaten by a bear. So spoiler alert, we did not get eaten by a bear. However, the trails were not really, usually when you're on a place with trails, it says, you're 2 miles from the entrance, you're 1 mile from the entrance. Go this way for the entrance, go this way for this trail goes here, this trail. No. All we saw were signs that said trail. It was beautifully marked with every kind of pine tree and oak tree, and it was gorgeous. And on the flatlands, we were having a great time reading all the signs to each other and looking at all the beautiful scenery and smelling the smells of the pine and enjoying being not hot, but kind of not cool, but just comfortable. And then we saw this lake off in the distance, and it said to the aquatic something or other. So we took that trail and we walked up and we were on this lake, and they had the biggest reeds growing out of the water and cattails growing out. Oh, it was just beautiful. And we just kept walking and walking. And then we decided, you know what, enough already. We're tired. Let's go back. So we looked for a sign that said, go this way for the entrance. And all we could find was a sign that said there was a parking lot a half a mile in one direction and a mile in the other direction. And it said something about, didn't say entrance, but it said something that sounded like it might have been maybe it said trailhead, a mile and plus in this other direction. Well, we didn't know how to get back the way we came. So we decided we would follow the trail that said it was going back to the trailhead and parking. And it was supposed to be about a half a mile. Oh, we could do that. Well, we walked and walked and walked, and the next sign we saw said, caution. It didn't call us older people. What did it call us? Not seniors, but it was some nasty word for old farts. Should be very careful because this has, it's a hard climb and you should have water with you. And we're thinking, oh, come on, this is just, like a little nature hike. So we kept going and going and going and going. And we were both getting just a little bit nasty about how far we wanted to go because we were like mountain climbing suddenly and we were just out for a little stroll. Anyway, I guess if it was only a mile, which it said it was to get back, it was a mile that went like this. So maybe it was a mile as the crow flies, because, man, we hiked for an eternity. We were pretty hot and tired by the time we got back. I had 2 pieces of gum with me, so we used that to at least keep our mouths, wet. It was 80 degrees when you're just hanging out is lovely. 80 some degrees when you're hiking in the mountains, not so lovely. And we probably won't go without water again. That was kind of stupid. Anyway, we finally found our way out. And we did a little more searching around and drove back home, and it was awesome. It was just a great day. And honestly, neither one of us wanted to stay awake to watch fireworks. So instead, I went on TV. It doesn't matter where. I didn't find it on Netflix. I forget where I ended up finding it. And I paid my $3 so I could watch I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy, Yankee Doodle do or die, a real live nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. Okay, so you get the idea. We watched James Cagney in the story of George M. Cohan, Yankee Doodle Dandy. I love that movie. I haven't seen it in years, and it was the perfect thing to watch on 4th of July. And then Indy made us a terrific dinner because I was just too zonked to do anything but sit on the couch. The dogs, except for Gloria is terrified by loud noises. So that poor little thing, I stayed up with her until about 10, just holding her and rubbing her and talking to her because she was just shaking. And finally, I just took her to bed with us, which we don't usually do, but we did last night and the night before because she was just a wreck. Poor little thing. Yeah. What can I say? You watched them on TV and could hear them from outside. Yeah, Ginny, I totally get what you're saying there. We didn't watch them on TV, but we could hear the neighbors' kids shooting them off, and that's what was freaking out the dogs. Besides, I have like great sense memory of what fireworks are like. They're nice. Oh, Indy says, giant sequoia. He's reminding me. The trees. We saw woodpeckers. I mean, but we didn't just see woodpeckers. We saw woodpeckers pecking. Yeah, that was pretty cool too. Those beautiful red heads of theirs. So many lizards. Little ones, big fat ones. We saw lots of lizards. We saw a couple of squirrels. We did not see a bear, although we kind of were watching for a bear. I won't lie. So what did I learn? When you're angry at somebody, but you don't want to start a fight and you don't want to say anything, but you need some kind of satisfaction, pick up a fork. Don't stick them with it. Just do this. Look at them through the fork, and it looks like they're in jail. Yeah, it does. It's so cool. Go try it. Seriously, use it today. When you just don't start a fight, don't say anything mean. You should probably carry a fork with you and just look at them through the fork because it looks like they're in jail. Yeah, it works. I promise. It does. It works. So you don't have to get hot and go hiking in order to get woodpeckers and lizards in your backyard, huh, Ginny? Okay, the truth is, we had a woodpecker here the other day. That's how I knew we were looking at woodpeckers. And we get lizards. And you know what else we get in our backyard? So cool. Roadrunners. Yes, roadrunners in our backyard. We had peacocks when I lived in Palos Verdes. Now I live in the desert and we have roadrunners. So cool. Mimi. Oh, you know what? I wanted to tell you, did you know that if you ever feel the need to look back for a piece of word art by Sandye that you really loved, but you can't quite remember what it was, if you go to the Facebook page of word art, there's a page, not a group, a page called Word Art by Sandye. Every piece of word art for the last, I don't know, 4 years or something has been posted there. Not everything I've ever done, but like every morning when I post on What Do I Say, What Do I Do, I also post at the same time on the Word Art by Sandye page. So there's kind of an archive of word art. And yes, you can order your own. And yes, you can have custom ones. It's kind of how I support, my little bad habit and pay for my pens and paper. So please feel free to, it's $20 and I will do word art for you. Yeah, I know it's cheap, but that's okay. Makes a great gift. I can tell you that. What else? Mimi. Mimi. It's National Workaholics Day. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's a holiday and I was up at 5 o'clock so I could do this. I don't even get paid for it, but I love my work. I love what I do. What can I say? Oh, yeah. It's National Bikini Day. This is kind of interesting. I don't know about you, but I've never had the kind of body that I felt was worthy of a bikini. Maybe when I was like 15. Yeah, but that was about it. So bikinis were, I'm going to call it, created in 1946. They debuted at a fashion show in Paris, and it was shocking to have a woman on display with her belly button showing and big cleave and belly button. And the definition of a bikini is 2 triangles that cover the breasts and 2 triangles that cover the back and front private parts of a woman. And they get smaller and smaller all the time. Okay, so why is it called a bikini? I couldn't understand that. And I looked it up and it said it was named after the Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands. I still didn't understand. The Bikini Atoll is where the atom bomb was set off, released, dropped, whatever you call it. And the first 2-piece bathing suits were called atom for the atom bomb. So when this got to be tiny, the guy who invented it called it the bikini after the place where the atom was dropped. Does that make sense now? It does to me. It was kind of a mini version of the atom. Today is the day that the Earth is farthest from the sun. You'd think that would mean it wouldn't be so hot, but it's supposed to be 113 here again today. I don't know. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of done with the hot, kind of. I mean, after being in 80-something, it felt so good. I would do that again as a regular thing. I would. Ginny, you wore a bikini until you were 40? and Opa, you were a toddler the last time you wore a bikini. Yeah, I hear you on that. I'm envious of those who feel comfortable enough, regardless of what their body looks like, to wear a bikini. I'm just not. But I'll tell you what does crack me up. When you see a pregnant woman in a bikini, I know that belly has a baby in it. And I know that's not something to be ashamed of. It just always makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I can't tell you why. I know. Isn't that silly? It is silly, isn't it? Oh, well. Happy birthday. Oh, wait. It's Mechanical Pencil Day. It's Mechanical Pencil Day. I have to show you this. In my pencil box, half of the things in here are mechanical pencils. I love this particular kind. It's a Papermate Sharp Writer. It's got a great eraser. It's got a point. They're inexpensive. So when the eraser's done, you can throw it away and not feel bad about it. But do you remember when you had a mechanical pencil at school? How cool that was when you were in elementary school? And you'd take the eraser off and all the pieces of lead would be stored inside and you'd put it in from the bottom and mechanical pencils are like awesome. I always thought the boys who took graphic arts, because graphic arts were not available for girls back then, I always thought they were so lucky to have those mechanical pencils. I really like them. But I'm not going to lie, and I don't even see one in there, which surprises me. I do love a good yellow number 2 pencil with a great eraser. If you buy a cheap pencil, the erasers are yucky. You have to get a good one. And the best ones, in my estimation, are the Ticonderoga. Now, why? What's this for? Is this instead of a mechanical pencil? This is a mechanic. Really? Indy just brought in what he does his notes on. He's a shrink. Did you know that? Anyway, this is a mechanical pencil. Talk about classing up your act. Wow. Oh, yes. Look what he brought me. My favorite kind of pencils. Ticonderoga, tie. We used to sing it because we loved our number 2 Ticonderoga pencils. I can't even tell you why this makes me so joyful. There it is. Can you read it? Ticonderoga. Yeah. Their number 2 pencils have a softer, darker lead or something. I don't know what it is. Woo! It's Mechanical Pencil Day. I love mechanical pencils. And, okay, I discovered this pen too. You know, I have my gratitude list. I cannot tell you how often on my gratitude list it says super fine point pens. The finer, the better, because I can write so tiny with them. So this one is a, sorry, I got to check. This one is a Precise V5 RT by Pilot. It's got the tiniest little nib on the end. So good for writing. Look how tiny I can write. I love writing tiny things. Okay, so much for that. It's apple turnover day, but I think after the size of the apple pie that Indy and I ate yesterday, I'm going to pass on that. It's also graham cracker day. Seriously, when's the last time, besides if you went camping and had a s'more, when's the last time you've just opened up a package of graham crackers, broke them apart, and dipped them into your glass of milk to eat them? That, to me, that's kid comfort. That is total kid comfort. Yeah. And you remember the graham crackers? The graham crackers, you would put them in your milk, and if you waited too long, it was if you only dipped them and pulled them out, it wasn't enough. You had to get it to the exact right texture. But if you waited too long, they would break off and end up in the bottom of the cup. You had to get it exactly right. Homemade graham crackers. Opa. Huey Lewis and the News were pretty good. What kind of technical difficulties? You're having technical difficulties? Let's see. You know who else's birthday it is? Dolly, the first cloned sheep. She came about in 1996. I think it was like it happened. They made a cloned sheep, but it took them a year before they told us about it. I think people were pretty freaked out about creating life in a test tube. Oh, I froze. Oh, I'm sorry. There, that wasn't really frozen. I was just messing with you. On this day, Jeff Bezos founded Amazon.com in 1994. Nice job, Jeff. Oh, this was cool. In 1937, today was the anniversary of Spam hitting the market. Yeah. It was like a big deal during World War II because those tins were easy to give to the soldiers. And I don't know, some people like Spam. I'm not a fan, but it's made a resurgence into the culinary market. Apparently now they make some kind of sushi out of Spam, and my grandson loves it. I don't get it. Also, happy birthday to Robbie Robertson. Do you know Robbie Robertson from the band? The Band is the name of the band. You remember the band from the 60s? Okay, this was my close encounter of the first kind for today. I was in Beverly Hills, thank you very much, at a sushi restaurant with my husband, who is like the biggest fan of the band ever, and another couple. And we were sitting and eating, and I glanced over at the sushi bar that was like next to us, and sitting at the bar was Robbie Robertson. Yeah. And I'm doing this. Oh my God, look who's sitting at the bar. Your hero is at the bar. Go say hello. No, I can't bother him. It's not a bother. He's a star. He wants people to know he's a star. So we're having this very hushed little argument about whether or not it was intrusive to go over and say hello and tell him how terrific you think he was. He refused to do it. He wouldn't do it, even though he was like the biggest fan in the whole wide world. So I intervened because that's what I do. And I got up and I walked over and I said, excuse me, please feel free to keep eating. It's fine with me. But I just want you to know that we think the band is terrific. And that guy over there, he is your biggest fan. He got up and he came over and he said hello to us. He was just delightful. Robbie Robertson, that's my celebrity meeting for today. Good on you. Good on you. You do know the band, right? Yeah, your husband loves the band too. Oh, Spam. Your husband loves Spam. I thought you were onto the band. What can I say? There's so many more things on here, but we're going so overtime. Yeah. All right, so let's go straight to the word art. If you must complain, complain only to someone with the power to do something about it. When you get to the point where you need to complain, you're already kind of stressed over whatever it is. And bitching about something without taking any kind of action to do anything about it makes you feel even more helpless. And in the face of something that gets you worked up enough to complain, helpless is going to cause you even more stress. So go to the person, the people, the place where you can get some results. Yeah. I used to date this guy who was constantly complaining about the way of the world. But he never wrote a letter. He never went to a protest. He never, ever called or went to a congressman. And sometimes he didn't even vote. Bam, out of my life. If you've got a problem, get it fixed. But go to someone who can actually help you do that or who has the power. Get people riled up, but then lead them in the direction of the action that will make a difference. Just speaking about it, no difference. But actually getting into action, that can matter. And it might be as simple as you going to a march or a protest, and that protest gets shown on TV and people see that there are a lot of people who care about this. And the next thing you know, everybody's voting and doing and acting, and life is changing. And come on, you can get out there and make a difference. That's all I'm saying. Don't complain about the world. Get out there and make it the kind of world you want to be living in. Yeah. Create your dream world. Make it real. Start today, because apparently the 5th of July is a holiday today because the 4th fell on a Sunday. So we get an extra day, which means a lot of things are closed today. So don't get, too involved in what chores you need to do. Kick back, take an extra day. You have my permission. Don't forget, don't get angry. Put them in jail. Yeah, baby. Fritzy report. I'm going to go see her today. I didn't see her yesterday. I cannot tell a lie. But I bought her some wonderful birthday presents. Soft, yummy tops and bottoms. And I'm going to take them over and give them to her a couple weeks early. I figure she doesn't have all that long. She may as well enjoy them as long as she can. That's my plan for today. I'll give you a Fritzy report tomorrow because I'm going to see her. Your son's birthday. Happy birthday. What's his name? Quick, type his name in. Happy birthday. 2. Come on, Oprah, you can do it. What's your son's name? I think there's a delay between when you type and when I see. Oh, happy birthday to Oprah's son. Happy birthday to Oprah's son. And the rest of you, celebrate your butts off, okay? Noah, he built him, an arky, Noah, he built him a birthday arky. Okay, love you guys. See you tomorrow when it's not a holiday, but we'll celebrate anyway, because life is like that. Love you. Oh, a sip and a smile. See you tomorrow.